Waiting for broadcast to be pushed.
Says we're live.
It says we're live. Are we?
I don't know. I'll find out.
I don't know either.
Yep, it just says we went live.
On what channel?
Your channel.
Or does it say Jimmy Shaw's Tidbits, or does it say something else?
It says Jimmy Shaw's Tidbits.
Oh, wow. You know you're behind the box, right?
I know. Let me tweet it out from my account because, you know...
Do me a favor and tag the link inside that the one I sent out last night.
Okay, yeah, I'll find that. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay, and I don't know what we're going... Oh, Handy Outdoor. How you doing? Hey, Ron's up in the house. Up in the hizzle.
What's
For shizzle.
What's up, Ron?
What's this?
Because you can't see it. I'm doing it where you can see it. Oh, my word.
Well, let's just put this thing down a little bit here, man. There we go. Oh, wow. Let me go turn those other lights. Maybe I'll get rid of that glare, too.
Yeah. What's up, Ron?
You can tell we're totally prepared. Totally prepared.
Well, dinner took a little longer than we thought.
Ooh, the black light?
Yeah, so we can kill the coronavirus.
Oh, God. Something went off on my phone.
Probably telling you you're live or something.
It's Jeff.
What's up, Jeff?
He wants to know if we're streaming tonight.
Well,
Jeff, if you're listening, yes, we are streaming tonight.
I didn't know that. Should I say all kinds of things I shouldn't say on a hot mic?
Okay, time to silence my phone.
Time to get busy.
The silence of the phones. It killed some of that glare, didn't it? At least now they can see what the box says. Do you want over on this side where the computer, where the keyboard's at?
So I can play moderator?
Yeah.
I can smash the keyboard and I can stop.
Oh my God, we gotta make some more room around here.
You need to.
I don't know if I'm getting fat or what. Actually, I know I'm getting fat.
I make no comments on that. All I can say is there's a lot of stuff in here.
All I know is I love that training pay. They take good care of me. Thank goodness for that. Mohammed, thank you very much for joining from Egypt. Thank you. Appreciate it.
It says we need to do something to get the sign into the chat. Okay, whatever.
But the chat's showing up right there.
But we need to log in to do it, something like that. I don't know. Whatever. I will be running the chat.
Oh, to say something. Yeah, if you want to go and bring it up on another browser.
Yeah, there we go.
No, I mean, in order to bring up the other, or is that the browser for it?
That's the browser for it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, nice job.
That's why I come down to play tech support. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
I had to come down for other reasons, guys. I needed to pick up my printers.
Okay, guys. So today we're here to unbox the Artillery3D Genius.
Also known as the Baby Sidewinder unofficially.
Yeah, Baby Sidewinder. It's like a Paquito version of the
big one.
Sidewinder. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the Sidewinder.
Ditto.
A lot of people have issues with the ribbon cables and all that. I personally have never had an issue with it. The only issue I am having personally right now is for some reason the cooling fan is not coming on with the software, which I don't know if that's a Cura thing. It's no big deal because I wait about 2 layers and I just turn the fan off on the printer, turn the fan back on. It comes on.
Could be a code issue.
Could be.
Who knows?
Let's get into this. Let's see.
Do this. I'll let you have the honors. I'll have mine eventually.
I don't know if I should be using this box cutter, you know.
Probably.
Now that it's got the other companies doing it.
Oh, whatever.
Okay, let's get this open.
This out of the way.
So he's telling me that there's like some, I don't know, some stuff I'm not supposed to, like I'm supposed to be careful unboxing it. So I'm going to be extremely careful unboxing it. I'm just going to open it from the bottom.
Actually, it's not a bad idea to do that, to be honest.
Let's see.
The problem is there's some injection molded parts on here that if you're not, when I say careful removing it, I mean you're not trying to just yank everything out of the box. It'll be fine, but like anything, just be careful.
So I'm going to show you some stuff here from underneath, you know.
Oh.
Show the good stuff first, you know. Okay, let's give this a shot. Actually, before I go that way, I'm just going to
vent it
a little bit. Give it a little bit of air gap. We life a little bit easier.
A lot of bit easier.
You want to play some porn music or something here? There we go.
Oh, look, they gave you a README. Let's just throw this away and forget about it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you're right. Just throw it away.
Hey.
Oh, what's this? A book?
Oh, heck
An
yeah.
instruction manual?
What's this? Let me see this thing.
Nobody has instruction manuals anymore. It's all online.
Okay, well, it's written partly in
Cute little bag.
Chinese, but no, wait. We'll find the English
You
part.
just didn't go far enough. So hidden here, we've got some parts I'm sure we're going to need here in a moment. Some screws. Got some extra wheels, an extra nozzle, some kind of tubing, a couple zip ties, or as the Verge says, tweezers, and looks like an extra LED.
This thing is nice. It's in literally like every single language. I'm not even kidding.
So we got a ribbon cable here along with some tape for the ribbon cable.
Dude.
We've got, ooh, a nice wrench. What? Check that out. It's not like, this thing here is an actual wrench. I don't know if you can see how thick that is. I'm used to just the little cutout piece of steel, like the little plate.
Yeah.
You know, what is it? What do you want to call it?
Stamped steel.
Yeah, it's not even stamp. It's like sheet metal, is what I'm trying to say. And of course, we've got our USB drive. Oh, wow, that port light's bright on my head, man. It's the curse of being indoors all the time. Got us a little cable here that I'll never use because I don't hook my printers up to the computer.
Really?
I try my best not to. I'm a horrible human being that way.
Honestly, though, Artillery, Tracy, if any of you guys are watching this little manual right here is actually really well done, and the fact that you guys included something of this quality in the box, points for that.
Kudos.
Huge points, because obviously I understand, you know, certain things might change with time, but just explaining to people the very basics of how to put it together is great, because a lot of people, this might be their very first printer, and having this in here is a good confidence boost.
Yep. Hey, Aaron's out. Peace, brother. Take care.
What's up, Jeff?
Jeff's in there? What's up, Jeff? How you doing? Okay, so right here we've got our spool holder, same as what's on the Sidewinder. The one that a lot of people hate. I personally, I like it.
I mean, the one thing I
don't
will
have any
say
issues with it.
you could do is you could just print a little tube that goes across that it rolls over, but...
Got our USA plug.
Nice, nice.
Because Merca.
Now, yeah, be a little bit careful because those parts can be a little bit delicate.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab it by the frame. Actually by the steppers. Kind of fish it up a little bit.
You're fine.
I don't see any problems with it. It's not... Those parts are not bad.
People, I think, were just really monkeying around with it.
I believe the first version of this, didn't it have, like, 3D printed parts?
I have no clue.
I thought I saw layer lines online.
Who knows? But for all those complaining about the plastic on the top, that's more than strong enough.
I'm just going to set that right over there. Just going to put that right there. Slide it across the table.
Scratch it up even more.
It's not scratched up. Oh, you talk about the table, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Calvin, by the way.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you very much for scratching my table.
If you give me some Old English, I'll fix it for you one of these months.
I fixed half of it with some Old English, but I didn't fix all of it.
Yeah, we can tell.
Okay, so right here, it has a warning letter saying,
Touch it.
do not remove before finished assembly. So I think that means I'm not supposed to remove that label.
You're supposed to print with it on there and then complain that your print don't stick?
Now I'm going to cheat here a little bit.
It's not cheating, it's called working smart.
Because I'm such a cheater. Like, oh my God.
You're a smart person.
No, I'm a cheater.
You're not.
There we go.
Come on.
Oh yeah.
Down to Jimmy. Sorry, I'm trying to help
such
here.
a hater for, man.
Now he's going to flame me out off camera. We're going to mute the mic and he's going to say all kinds of nice things about me.
Okay, so I feel one little kind of a bump right there, but I don't feel any bumps the rest of the way.
Okay.
I'm not going to worry about that just yet.
Mine has a bump and it works. Oh, that's a nice cooling fan.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Now, the only thing I will say is don't put that directly over carpet, or you're going to suck a bunch of dust in the machine in a minute.
Well, the good thing is it's got the feet to keep it.
Yeah, but I'm talking like if you have
I mean, I
shag
can
carpet.
fit my fingers underneath it.
I'm talking like if you have shag carpet or something like that.
Well, yeah, you don't want to do that. You also don't want to put it on top of your pets or anything else that would be kind of weird. But
Somebody's probably done that at some point.
I guess we should look at the instructions, but why?
Why, when you have Calvin here?
Oh my god, you're so stuck on yourself, man. Oh my god. Never fear, Calvin's here.
The great C-Dub himself.
I guess I should have unzipped the Ziploc bag, but...
I'm not going to say anything. This thing is nice, though. Holy crap.
It is.
Eventually, I will be getting my own, guys. Don't worry. Tracy is doing what she can to get me one. It's a little bit delayed because of the whole coronavirus thing. But when I get mine, don't worry. I'll be doing some videos on it.
Does that mean I'm supposed to be wearing a mask when I do this?
No, you're
Okay.
fine.
I was going to say, I think that was a whole different part of China, wasn't it?
I don't know. I will say, though, the whole thing from the stats that I've seen, yes, it is a concern, but it is not as bad as people have made it out to be. I'm going to leave it that way. Although my heart goes out to those who have passed away from it. That's very sad, but...
It's tragic.
Yeah, it is. But at the same time, people die from the regular flu as well. So, you know, it's...
So,
I'm leaving it at that.
all I have done is place the gantry onto the base. I'm putting a screw in there. Let's see if I can turn that around so you can see what I'm doing. Just don't want to
Smack
break
it all
anything.
over the table.
Put a screw in there just to make sure that I'm getting everything started before I start cranking anything down.
That's a radical idea.
I know, right? Make sure it's setting down, which it is. It's all good. It's all good in the hood.
I need to find you a pair of snaps.
For what?
The zip ties.
Oh, well, there's a pair right there on the corner of the desk. I'll get it.
Okay, never mind.
So I'm going to snug that one up on the outside. How's the chat doing? Hi, chat.
Chad hasn't said anything, so...
Are we still live?
Yeah. Best of my knowledge. Here, I'll check. Yeah, we're still live.
Jeff, and Heather, and Stella. Hello, Stella. How you doing?
I miss Stella.
I
She's
do
awesome.
too. Stella's cool.
She's really cool. Tomorrow I get to go back to work and see our very derpy and very floofy cat. This should be fun. I might just have to film it.
So there's a warning sticker down here that I'm sure is about the warranty,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been torn. I didn't do that.
Horrible.
Does this mean it's not under warranty anymore?
No, it means that you're totally toast, Jimmy, and Artillery has now disowned you officially, and they say they don't like you no more.
How's that right to repair thing going that everybody keeps talking about?
I have no clue. The one that Rossman was doing,
Yeah,
it sounds like it probably died a very sad death. I think honestly the biggest issue with right to repair is the amount of misinformation.
Live or dead, undead.
What's the price?
What is the price on this Calvin?
I
You're
think
the one by the computer.
I think it's about $320. Let me go to Artillery's page and I'll get it for you guys. Give me a second.
Yeah, I personally believe in buying directly from Artillery, buying from their links when it comes to Amazon. Whatever the going price is, what I believe in paying, because if you go for the discounted ones, you're going to end up getting a rebuilt or
Yep.
refurb, or not refurb for that matter. I'm just wanting to make sure there's a little bit of gap underneath these motors. Make sure that it's not set directly on the base. Yeah, it looks like it's all right. Just want to make sure it's not skewed or anything.
Yeah.
Should I just go ahead and loosen that motor and try it? Because this one here looks like it's down all the way.
It's up to you.
What do I want to do? I'm just going to loosen. Just crack that just a hair. And what I'm doing is I'm loosening the bracket right here that the motor is attached to. I'm just going to crack both of them. I'm not taking them loose, I'm just cracking it loose so that it's just a little bit. So if it needed to, it can move up and down. Now I'm just going to reach underneath here and give these an extra little twist. Make sure that that gantry is flush against the base.
So if anybody's wondering, the link that I posted is directly from Artillery's website itself that takes you to their AliExpress page. So there you can find all their good information about it.
Let's see. I'm just going to snug those right back down. Because now I know the gantry is all the way down.
You might want to retighten the gantry screws just to be safe.
I did.
Oh, you did? After
Yeah.
you did the motor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where were you like 30 seconds ago?
I was digging around on their website, okay? Sorry, Mr. I'll go find the information from the company. Okay, sure. I should also note that I'm still a little bit groggy from taking some Benadryl because I've been very stressed out with the first week of classes and stuff, so I had a hives outbreak and had to break out the Benadryl. So I'm a
dude, hives is no joke, man.
So I'm still a little groggy from that, so bear with me.
Okay, gantry's in place. It feels nice and firm.
I like it.
Feels good.
Time to plug everything in.
Let me see if I can turn this around so people can see me plugging it in.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Let's see. So I'm taking that piece of tape off. I'm going to plug that one into that stepper. It's really hard at this angle.
Do you want me to do it for you?
No, I got it. Just gotta get my sausage fingers in there. Plug that one in, which I believe is going to be for the filament sensor.
Probably. I do have to say, though, I like the fact that for the Z-axis, instead of you having to plug in the 30-pin cable, the 30-pin cable runs into an adapter that runs into a PCB with a socket. That's a nice touch, because that definitely, the 30-pin into the base right there is definitely a problem point for people. So, that's impressive. Have we figured out what filament we want to print in?
There's only one brand I got to print in. AMZ3D. Now I got some other ones right here, but the AMZ one I trust for a first print.
Yeah.
I'd much rather use it.
Do you want to bust out the trans purple?
I don't know if I want to come out right now. I'm joking. There you go.
Suck. Oh, brother. I shouldn't tell you about class last night then. That was interesting. Okay, moving on. Oh, what's up, TK?
It's too late now. You already brought it up.
No, can I have the box cutter? Thank you. TK, have you guys seen the new Anycubic Mega Zero and the Anycubic Photon Zero resin printer for $170 for a resin printer that's just 2 balls of resin? I think it's also the same price for the Anycubic Mega Zero. First of all, howdy, TK, you the man. Number 2, no, but if anybody knows me and when it comes to resin printing, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of cheap machines because I feel like there's some safety stuff regarding resin that we do not fully know yet. And yeah, that said though, that's definitely interesting, and for the right person, I think it's cool, but I'm just a little bit worried that there's enough people who struggle enough already with FDM printing, which is relatively innocuous, and resin printing is absolutely no joke. So, that's just my 2 cents on it all. Man, this stuff is nice.
2 cents like Jay?
Yeah. I fix it!
Okay, this is interesting.
Mm-hmm. It just kind of flops in there.
How do I feel about this? Actually, I feel kind of good about it.
Let me see.
So it's got slots
Uh-huh.
that these just fit right into.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's
So
low.
this one is pretty much in a fixed location. This one will slide side to side.
Yeah, but let's drop the filament
Well,
spool in there.
let me show the camera here. This one will move side to side, and there's a set screws, a thumb screw.
Here, move it over a little bit.
Well, let me get my screw in.
Mm-hmm.
Let me screw it just a hair. Yeah, a little tighter. Yeah, right about there.
While you do that, I'm gonna go water a tree. All that iced tea and Mountain Dew Baja Blast is
Okay,
going
so
through me.
here's an issue that I personally have. I know. So the wire for the filament sensor is going to have to go up here, which means now you got to wire this rubbing against your filament as it's spinning.
That could be an issue over time.
And it's got clips back here on the plastic, so I don't really want to take it out of the clips.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe I'm being stupid about it. Maybe I can just bring it around this way.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do that.
let's do that. I'm gonna sneak by real quick and water a tree.
Hey, big boy.
Yeah, okay. I'll be waiting.
While he's out, let's get this thing printing really quick. Did you just flip me off? My goodness, dude. He just flipped me off as he walked out the door. I'm hurt. Okay. Now, while he's gone, I'm going to check these springs. They've gone pretty compressed. I will be happy with that. One thing I always check on all these printers whenever I get them is I always want to check on the bed and see how stiff those springs are. If the springs are really stiff, it's been compressed really good, you're usually good. You level the bed one time, you're good for quite a while. If the springs are expanded and it's not compressed, then whenever you heat everything up, those springs are going to get all sloppy and start getting weak and all that. And that's when you'll notice that your prints the bed will just, every time you go to print, it'll be off. It's not going to be right. So it's all good. Oh, what's going up in here? As Cougar says, if you bring the filament around the left side, yeah, that's it. Just unprinted, just looks funny. Calvin just came back in.
What's up, big boy?
Hey, big boy.
What's happening?
Let's check the belts. Belts seem nice and tight. Ribbon cable looks fine. Ribbon cable looks fine here. There's not near as much as the ribbon cable stuff going on. I mean, here we are, what? How long have we been streaming now? There's nothing showing.
I think we started around 9, so it's about
Okay.
20 minutes.
20 minutes in, the thing's assembled. I mean, we're good to go right now.
And we're taking our sweet time while we're at it.
Yeah, we're not rushing this.
If we really wanted to, we could have probably put the thing together in all reality in 10 minutes or less. And that
Oh
includes
yeah, because if we didn't set up the stream and answer questions or
move
even look.
around and not saying that you guys should rush it, but at the same time, if you know
No.
what you're doing, it's a very easy to assemble machine.
So it is one of these plates that's got the texture to it. It is a 110 volt bed,
Nice.
so it's gonna be fast.
We like fast.
We like fast. We love fast. Just checking the cables. Belt feels good there. Belt feels good there. I usually don't pull that off, but
It's a touch screen. If you don't, it will not work.
right.
Pretty much.
Okay. Now to fire it up, see if it heats up.
Yes, you do it. I'm actually physically here. For those who don't know why I'm down here with Jimmy, it's because I had to pick up my printers that I'm storing down here. So,
I tricked him into coming in tonight.
yeah. Hey, Tracy wanted me to see the Genius, so
Let's turn that
I'm getting
off.
mine eventually.
Before I turn it on, I want to just double check. Pull that off of there for the moment. Can you just feed that through
Yeah.
one of the holes? What I want to do is I just want to make sure, absolutely sure, that there is not a power switch as far as needing to switch from
Not that I know of.
110 to 220 or anything like that, because we want to make sure here It's set 110. It's not a big a thing here as it is in other countries if it's set on 110 and they put 220 to it. They put 220 to it, they're going to fry the board.
Zippity zap zap, done.
Bzz.
Pretty much.
Release the magic smoke.
Here it would just sit there and do nothing.
Yeah, it would just like slowly light up the screen and
not really function.
Yeah.
Gently tighten that guy down. That's pretty good. I mean,
it can be a little tighter.
One thing that I will say that I'm probably going to do on mine is print a little rod that goes across there to help hold the rolls in place, but that's just me.
Okay, so let's fire the sucker up. I hear a beep.
I heard a beep.
I see a screen just lit up. Lights are just horrible in here tonight.
The moment of truth is, what does it read for temps? I can't see a thing.
Yeah, let's just turn it around here. No use in us trying to fight going around that box and everything.
Yep, we're reading temps. We're good.
So it's showing 14 degrees and 15 degrees. So yeah, we're within 1 degree. So let's go to Tools. Let's go to Heat. We're going to heat up the extruder by 10-degree increments. Fire it up to about, what, 220?
Yeah.
Where is that? 230? 220. There we go. Go to the bed. We're going to heat that up to, what, 60?
Yeah. Don't forget to clean the bed as well.
Yeah, we will here in a moment. You know what I still got to do?
Level it.
Yeah.
You still got to do the BL Touch mod.
No. I am not going to do a BL Touch.
Really? Really? Well, what if your bed is, not dead on perfectly flat?
How about that, Calvin?
If you saw how many people said that crap on the page, I think you would scream in a video for 10 minutes.
No, I do not do BL Touch. It's not because I have anything against the company.
I know.
It's I have a problem with people modifying printers before they even know their printer even works.
I know. And
if you don't think I think that, go back to last week's live stream.
Yeah. See me on these pages where I completely piss people off for that mentality, and I'm like, whatever. Does it smell like China?
No, it smells like freshly turned on heating stuff.
Ooh, all the oil's cooking off.
Yeah. Which is good. That's what it's supposed to do.
For sure.
Just double checking everything. Where are we at with temperature on the other part of it?
Probably up to temp by now.
Oh yeah, it should be by now. Oh yeah, we're at 214 on the extruder. We're at 60 degrees already on the bed. Bed's already warmed up.
I mean, on a bed that tiny with a 110 volt heater, you could probably blink and it's climbed 10 degrees.
So let's go ahead and go to Tools. Let's go to Level. We're going to do first level.
It moved.
It does. Imagine that. Is that the first?
Yeah, that's the first one.
Okay, so let's loosen that up just a hair. There we go. Get some tension going on.
We're not dragging the paper with the filament. I mean, we're not dragging the paper with the nozzle. Yeah, that banjo's still kicking in.
I don't like that wiggle.
What wiggle? Oh. Well, let's print with it and see what it does and then go from there.
I don't like the wiggle. Why don't I just fix the wiggle before we go further?
It's up to you.
I mean, as much as I want to print, I also want it to have decent quality too.
Fair enough.
Okay. 4.
I just started a war in the comments about the BL Touch. It's great.
What's wrong?
Oh, Eddie's saying that, there's a group that knows how to use it. Yes, definitely there's a group that knows how to use it, but the problem is a lot of beginners think that if they stick a BL Touch on their machine, it's going to solve all their problems. It doesn't really work like that. So that's the problem, is people have unrealistic expectations. I don't hate it as well. If you know how to use it, that's great, but the problem is there's a lot of people who think that they never have to level their bed again or things like that, and then start getting into the...
Then they can start getting into the software upgrades. and all that in
hacking
order
the
to make it
machine
work.
up, and I've done a VL Touch upgrade on a friend's machine. At the end of the day, when we were doing some work on it, we just decided to yank it because the reality was it wasn't making any difference. I mean, it was too tiny. It was a bed size about this big, and on a bed this tiny, not even worth it. So, I don't hate it. It's just I see a lot of people doing upgrades that they don't need to do out of the box, especially when they're very new. I mean, what bothers me is when there's people who barely know how to assemble the machine, and they're already going, how do I upgrade the firmware? And I'm like, you shouldn't be even thinking about that until you've gotten good with the machine.
Right.
I mean, that's where I leave it at. If you really know what you're doing or you really want to learn, fine, I'll teach you. But otherwise, it's not a rabbit hole worth getting into. You can do more damage than help very quickly. Do note the nozzle's touching the bed, so it might be.
Oh, is it?
Walking.
It's not off the bed?
No.
Why not?
I don't know.
So they've got it set up so it's on the bed.
Yes.
By rights, it should be off the bed just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and let's raise this thing up. Let's see, where's the home button? There's home, and we want to go Z. No, I don't want home Z. I want to move. There we go. Move. We're going to go Z up. There. I'll jump at 10 millimeters at a time. It's coming out straight. Yes, it is.
That looks good.
Looks really good.
Yeah. So while we're setting up Cura, do we want to just print the stock cube that comes with it, or do we want to just wait?
Well, what I want to do is I want to take my wrench.
By rights, tighten that thing up a little bit.
Yeah. Looks like
You might want to slide it forward.
it looksy like a man. Remember that one on Mad TV? Or was that before your time?
I wasn't allowed to watch that stuff.
Poor guy.
I like it. All the oil that was on the nostrils coming off right now.
Isn't that when everybody freaks out?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's burning! Maybe it's just cooking off the oil that was on there. It does that a couple of times. In all reality, if you're in a room that's tiny that has a smoke detector, maybe do this near an open door for the first time. Turn it on. That way it won't trigger the smoke alarm.
You see a paper towel or a napkin or...
Napkins are right there. We're right around the
I was
corner.
going to buy some new ones and I forgot to do it.
Oh boy. We should buy you some shop rags.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
Remember that video whenever we took and we did the little shot of...
Oh, please don't remind me.
That was so funny.
Oh,
Look
wow.
at that.
Ooh. So, note, people, we are going to clean the bed multiple times. We're not just doing a quick wipey dipe.
My God, I don't understand why my prints won't work.
And there's all this yellowish gook on there.
Why isn't my print sticking to the bed? What's up with this? I'm so confused.
When I was talking to Tom from Tom in 3D,
I say, oh, be sure to wipe down your bed with... Why do I need to do that? Because...
this.
You just need to. It's just...
You do it.
Do you want to? No. Do you need to? Yes. Although I have got to say I've never seen that much come off of one of these.
Well,
It's getting better.
if in doubt, my rule of thumb is if it's a fresh bed or I've just applied a build surface, I expect it to be a little bit filthy because I've had to handle it or say there was something
Yeah,
on
it's
there.
looking a lot better now.
Yeah. Say there was something on there from manufacturing, or say a little bit of oil leaked on it.
Well, it's
from
kind
one
of
of the
had a
parts.
long trip. You know, it came all the way, what,
In China.
5,000-6,000 miles away?
You don't know what it's been through to get here.
It's had a rough life.
Yeah. No, in all reality, though, clean your bed well, people. You'll thank yourself.
So tools, heat. Heat the extruder back up. 220. Bed. up to 60. Now, I wonder if they fixed the issue with the prints. Remember, it would not detect them in the last deal because they were in a different file.
Well, let's give it a shot. Back, print. I think it's under that folder. Yeah, cube.
Oh, good. So at least they put them where they're supposed to be now.
Do we want to just try printing the cube and see what happens for giggles?
Sure.
Why not? Okay, the temps are a little high. I'll manually drop them down. It's like
what's wrong with the prints? The temps?
I think we accidentally kicked the power cord. Can we get it off?
You think so?
Yeah. Or something. There we go.
Is it not in all the way? Oh yeah, it wasn't in all the way.
Figures.
That's on us. It's all good. All good in the hood.
We make mistakes. We're people. Yeah, the temps are more PETG temps on the test cube, but we can drop it manually. It's not that big of a deal. Because it wants to do 230 at 80, which is a little high.
It's wanting to cool all the way down. And I don't want it to cool down. I just want to heat up. Heat.
Yeah, it's definitely cleaning the bed before every print is not a bad idea. Some people would say that's excessive, but the reality is, especially if you're going to do a long print or something that needs really good adhesion, it does not hurt to clean the bed between prints just in case. You know. What is it doing now?
Well, I stopped the print,
Oh, okay.
and then I restarted it. It's all good.
Okay, just checking. I do like the really...
It is wanting to take the bed up to 80 degrees.
I'll adjust it manually once it gets started.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, Theory? You're the man. I will say I really like these large textured knobs because your first rev or whatever you want to call it, artillery.
They're a little bit smaller, but
yeah, I mean they work, but they're not as easy to work with. But this is the fun part about G code that we don't know what it's gonna do.
Yep.
But I'm not that worried. I think it's heating up because it's showing red. Okay. Yeah. Do you want to drop the temps on the machine? Because now you can do that.
it's just that print.
Alright.
I just want to see what it does.
Okay. Fair enough.
Is this going to print with a brim?
Quiet. That thing is seriously quiet. I love it.
I'll just sit over here and I'll whisper.
Okay.
I'll whisper so everybody can hear me over this machine.
I love it. This thing is amazing.
Actually, we are really whispering right now.
Yeah, we really are.
It's still louder than us. Oh no, it's not. Never mind.
In all seriousness, though, that thing is quiet.
That's stinking really quiet.
It's in the right conditions. You'll forget it's printing.
If I whisper over here, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
But it looks like it's moving, so I guess they can hear me too. Hi guys, can you hear me? That's pretty quiet. That's really quiet.
That
man.
is seriously quiet. Let me sneak over here and get a photo to tweet out.
That's stinking crazy quiet.
I love it.
Oh.
Wow, that thing moves fast.
Yeah, who knows what that setting is?
Oh, who gives a crap? It's working, that's the big thing.
Yes. Oh, should we look through the instruction manual now?
It's up to you. I do have to say though, it's a very simplistic and very much picture driven one, but that's not a bad thing. I like it that way because then it makes it easier for people to...
Maybe we should put it a little bit closer so they can hear it.
I had it close.
I wonder if they can still hear me over it. I don't know. I don't see a difference. It might be a little bit too close. Can you still hear me? He's whispering.
Yes, I can.
No, I'm asking them if they can still hear me
Oh,
whispering.
sorry. 15-second delay kicks in.
That is crazy, man.
I love it. I seriously cannot wait to get mine in.
So one thing I will say is I am glad that they went from having the ribbon cable connection set up.
Like on the side.
Yeah. So
and also it's in a socket.
Plugged in there.
Yeah, it plugs into there, which then goes into a socket that then
what's
actually
funny
needs.
is I didn't even notice that when I put that on there. That's
the very
that could have went bad in so many ways, but the fact that I just set it down on there, I didn't even realize that was there.
It has a socket.
So it's not like it's a super critical connection. It just
drops in.
It just fits right in. That's cool.
I'm gonna definitely make note of that in my video when I get it.
Yeah, be sure to, because
assemble.
honestly, I did not even notice that until just now. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, because on that one, the ribbon connector was on this side, facing the build plate, which was kind of a really bad spot.
They've since moved it to be in the front, so it's a straight shot
That's actually a huge upgrade.
Yeah, huge upgrade.
Huge.
That's one of the few things that I will say that's definitely worth it on the newer versions to get, but at the same time, it's kind of like if you know what you're doing, it's not a bad thing. So, yeah, that's looking good. It is some nice filament.
Absolutely love that filament. I used to use Hatchbox. At first, I started out using Shaxson from up at Fry's Electronics.
What's that place?
Right. I was going to go up there today.
Oh,
and
really?
Yeah, my plan was to go finish my training at my store up there in Gilroy, and then go on up to San Jose. I wanted to go see what Fry's was looking like because I've been hearing a lot of stories. And I got caught up for like 4 hours doing my online training. And so it's like, by the time we got finished, it was like, we're heading into rush hour traffic. Let's not mess with it.
No. I mean, I've been to the one in Sunnyvale like about 2-3 months ago, and I swear it was the saddest thing I've ever seen.
My favorite one is the one on Brokaw.
Never been there.
The one over. You've never been to the Brokaw one?
No.
The one that's like a Egyptian temple.
That's cool.
It's stinking cool. It's not like it used to be back in the day when it was fairly new. It was like immaculate. And then now, the different parts of the styrofoam on the outside facade have come down, and they just like pushed it off to the corner, and it's kind of sad.
I mean, I remember going to the one that I used to go to all the time was the one in Van Nuys that was an Alice in Wonderland theme. And then sometimes we go to the one in Burbank right across the street from the airport to kill time if we were picking up or dropping off my mom.
Yeah.
Or sometimes my dad if he was going to fly up and see his brother to help him with stuff. But yeah, it was like, that one was cool because it was like an alien space invasion themed one. But yeah, I've been to the one in West Covina with Ashley, and that was depressing. I mean, it was just like there was nothing in there. We had to go there for thermal compound. They didn't even have thermal compound. We had to go to Best Buy to get thermal compound.
Wow.
That was depressing. That, or I think the only thermal compound they had was like $40, and I'm like, forget it.
By the way, guys, what I did a little bit ago on the bed is I just took and I snugged up those eccentric nuts. Just not even an eighth of a turn. It was just a little bit just to snug them up, and that made everything firm enough. It is a metal, I believe it's an aluminum frame that it's on, and it does have flex to it. So if you really push on it, you're going to see the thing move. Thing is, the printer itself is never going to flex that to the point that you will by hand.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about that. My thing was the skewing a little bit, because as it's traveling, I want it to be straight. I don't want to do this little, kind of
shimmy.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Which could theoretically fake other problems. So.
Right. Yeah, that's where you can see ring lines and stuff that
wobble
shouldn't be there, and then they appear.
That is some freaking beautiful filament. Holy crap.
I've got a few rolls of that, and somewhere around here I just got another box from them, and it's like the different shiny ones. So I've been wanting to print with those, and I haven't had a chance to.
Well, for the project that we're going to team up on, if you don't mind, before I leave, toss me a couple of spools and I'll throw them in the car. So once I get the files, I can at least get started. Because I've got my filament that I bought for school projects and for myself, and I can dip into that if I need to, but I want to try and get started on this thing ASAP.
I think I've got quite a bit of the translucent purple.
Okay.
And if I can give you a couple rolls of that, and if we'll just start printing everything in that.
Yeah.
But Yeah, that's going to be a cool project. Just do me a favor and try to record a little bit of it.
I was going to definitely record as much of it as I could, reasonably speaking.
Because that's going to be a pretty big project ultimately, I think. I just need to get the files downloaded and get you the copies, and then I'll have mine.
We can just, let's just set up like a Google Drive folder.
Yeah.
So that we both have access to it, and I'll just pull out the files that I want to get started.
Yeah.
Because like I was saying, I'm happy to do the really if there's anything that's super complex, I can knock that out on my HICTOP because I've got breakaway support material.
Yeah.
I can very easily do that, and I've got some experience with it. So, but that's a different. This is a project for another time.
I can't believe how quiet that is, man.
I love it.
Now, usually whenever you have a cooling fan on a printer, it's really loud. Now, what's nice about this when they went with about a 90 millimeter,
big old
or
honking
100
fan.
millimeter fan. It's a larger fan, which larger fan you move a lot more air, a whole lot quieter. That's the reason why on PC fans are 120 millimeter or larger.
Yeah.
Is because that way you can have the fans running 100%, and yeah, you'll hear them, but it's going to be.
Doesn't sound like a jet turbine.
It's probably going to be more like this, where it's going to be quieter. When you go with those little 50 millimeter fans, those things are just screaming to push the air.
Yeah. PVG's asking, what type of filament is this printer capable of printing? Anything 235 degrees Celsius or below.
Yeah, so you can actually go some ABS. The thing is, if you're going to be printing something big in ABS, you're going to have an enclosure, which I don't recommend an enclosure with this model of a 3D printer.
Yeah.
Like my
Meat
Creator 2, you could totally put sides on it and do something,
lid.
And it's fine. Anything that's what is that? That's is it a Cartesian?
I think it'd be classified as a Cartesian.
Something like that, where you could put sides on it and stuff like that. That's my biggest thing. When it comes to this style, with the
moving bed,
Prusa style is what they used to call them, where they have the moving bed. If you put it inside of an enclosure, then you're also blocking off the airflow to the electronics, which is going to shorten the life of your board, your power supply. It's going to do a lot of wear and tear in your machine that's not necessary.
Now, one caveat I will say is I've seen people design enclosures so that they have openings that come up to about here.
Okay.
So you actually get airflow in, but the main part, everything here up, is enclosed, which is very smart.
If you've got the means to do that, by all means, go for it. PETG, you wouldn't have an issue at all printing with this. How about nylon?
Unless it was like, say, Tallman Nylon 230. Anything other than that, you can't do because it's minimum 245 plus. Okay. So, in my experience, though, and I'm not saying you should do this out of the box, but it's easy enough to throw an all-metal hot end on a machine like this and print nylons and things like that, which is what I did on my artillery, and I love it. But then again, I need to print nylon Tallman 910 at like 260, 265 degrees Celsius for hours on end. That definitely takes a little bit of heat.
That is looking really good. I see the layer lines, of course, because it's going to have layer lines.
Yeah.
But they're not off center. They're in line.
Good.
Everything looks nice, really smooth.
I mean,
like
for being a pre-sliced cube at some pretty funky temperatures, I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, because by rights, it's probably about 5 degrees too hot on the extruder, and
at least
the bed is
20 degrees,
30 degrees too much.
But hey, you know what? We're just running the test cube to show what you can do.
And once again, what did I use for leveling the bed? The
feeler gauge.
The paper that came with it. By rights, I should have left that taped on the bed and leveled it first. Well, no, I have to move it back and forth. But just use. It is a fairly thick piece of paper, and the reason why
not a bad thing.
I didn't mind using that is because of the build material that's on there. What is that? Like a silicone or
silicon carbide?
Yeah.
I mean, the honest reality is, I tell a lot of people when they're first starting out to actually take a piece of regular paper and fold it over, because a lot of people.
Teresa says that filament roll is huge.
It's a kilo.
No, the printer is small.
One thing I will say, though, for all the beginners, is I will say take a regular piece of paper and fold it over, because a lot of beginners tend to squash the nozzle too much. So
that's the reason why that's the reason why I used that one. That one's about twice the thickness of a normal piece of paper. Like this paper here, actually it's a little bit thinner. This is more like about 10 or 15 pound
Yeah.
paper.
But the point is, it buys you a little safety
Yeah.
because usually everybody goes, I need to smash the
You
nozzle
don't need
in
to
there.
scratch your bed.
No.
You don't need, especially with this kind of bed, you don't need to do that.
You can actually, I mean, even with just like a PEI or build tack or even glass with like glue stick on it, you can actually have a pretty high first layer as long as you go slow enough. It's not that hard.
Can you do me a favor and
Yes.
that ruler that's on the toolbox over there?
Yes.
My poor toolbox. I gotta get that thing off of that toolbox. That's too pretty to have as a shelf.
It's depressing. Then again, it's probably my fault I put the printer on there anyways.
So this bed it's 230 millimeters by 230 millimeters. What does it say the build volume is of this?
220 by 220 by 260, I think.
Okay, so leave it for a vote up in the chat. Would you like for me to just go ahead and continue the stream, us talking and have this printing? Or would you like me to go into Cura and create a profile for this thing from scratch? I'll give you guys like a minute or two to think about it. Let me know what you think. If you want me to go ahead and make the profile and show you what I do that way, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just sit here and watch a cube get printed.
Well, then again, you could always make the Cura profile with the cubes printing, because I think it would be cool just to run the cube out just to show
Yeah, but
it
I was going to do a screen capture.
Oh, okay. Fair point. Then again, we don't need to watch the cube printing for like, what, the next half hour?
Why not?
Well, we're up to 39% and we're 15 minutes in. So.
Did I ever tell you the reason why I even got into 3D printing? I used to watch all the videos, you know, all the different guys doing it, and I always thought, you know, it'd be really cool to sit there and just watch the thing. And so there was times I would actually fire up this printer here behind me, my first one. I'd fire that thing up, and I would sit out there sometimes for an hour just watching it. Because at that time, you know, I had a lot of stuff going on. My mom had cancer. There was a lot of stuff going on.
It was a distraction.
Yeah, you go out there and just literally just veg out. You know, I don't smoke weed or nothing. But, you know, it had the same calming effect because you can just sit there and just the sound of the machine, it sounded like R2-D2 and stuff. Just something about it's relaxing. That's the reason why I got into it.
I guess it's kind of like that with me in the model trains. Sometimes, it's as much as I love doing switching puzzles and complex stuff like that, it is fun just to let the trains run around in a circle and just kind of zone out doing it. So I know what you mean. For me though, I'm usually, the machine's usually printing while I'm doing other things anyways, so it's just kind of like, okay, here we go, it's stuck, we're gonna run off and do other stuff. But I know what you mean. There are some times where it is fun to watch it, but for me, I'm kind of like, well, I could be doing other stuff in that time, so that's what I usually do. But I'm probably gonna head out around
Make a profile while you're waiting for the cube. Okay, let's go ahead and make the profile. If you guys end up changing your mind and want to see what I'm doing, let me know.
Scream in the chat.
Yeah, let's see if I can bring up my Cura.
I think you need to click.
I have to really. No, I can't minimize it.
Can't?
I think something locked up on my computer.
Oh gosh, probably the update.
What update?
The one that failed last time?
It shouldn't have.
Whatever.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Repeat it last time.
Is it still live, I wonder?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If chat's still going, it means it's still live.
Just gonna.
Oh dear.
Okay, well that's still awake. That's still awake. Okay, it just woke back up.
Oh, okay. Thank God. Scared me there.
Just let me go ahead and bring the chat back up if I can.
I'm gonna water a tree one more time. I'm probably gonna tap out around 10 because I gotta go to work tomorrow, but.
How come I can't minimize Cura?
Yeah, you can.
That's just weird.
I'm gonna water a tree real quick.
Go for it. Man, what, you've been taking blood pressure pills or something, or what?
No, I think it's because I drank way too much caffeine today.
Oh, okay.
I had a giant Mountain Dew Baja Blast. I had like a whole Powerade, and I had like 3 glasses of iced tea over at Denny's. That's a lot of caffeine for Cal. Probably taking the Benadryl didn't help.
Probably not. There we go. Minimize that a little bit. Trying to minimize my Cura screen so I can leave. There we go. I just moved it off to the side. There we go. Now I can bring the chat up. Have it off over here to the side. There we go. That will work. Let's see here. So create a new printer. Add a printer. It's going to be custom printer. It's going to be the Artillery. Genius. Add it. So whenever I'm making my profiles, I always take and I don't go by the advertised bed size. I measure the bed. That way, whenever the item prints, it'll print in the center of the bed. It won't be printing slightly offset. And that's, if you put 225 on this, it's going to be printing slightly to the side because of, especially the position where it's at the corner of the bed when it starts. So in the case of this, my X will be 230, my Y will be 230, and then I believe somebody said it was 250 for the height. So I'll go ahead and do 250. And I just have to make sure I don't ever actually go 250 because I don't want it touching anything up the top. Rectangle bed. Say heated bed. Add some marlin. And tell 0 on all this other stuff, which is just offsetting right back to the other stuff. So I have mine on that. Leave it alone. Go to extruder 1. Extruder 1 is going to be a 0.4 millimeter nozzle. Get 1.75 millimeter filament. No offsets. Here we go. And that one's going to be set that for a draft at 2.2 millimeter, not 2.2 millimeter on the layer height because I don't need to go really fine on this unless I'm really wanting to print something fancy. Let's see. Move the chat over there for now. There we go. Rover says, blame Calvin. I do blame him. Oh, goodness. Hey, Curtis, how you doing? Thanks for joining, man. Rover TK up in the house. Man, y'all up in here, man. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. I don't know if the rest of you were in here whenever we were talking about how quiet this thing is, but it's insanely quiet. That thing's nice. I like it. It's a baby sidewinder is what it is, even though it says Genius on it. It's a baby sidewinder.
It's a baby sidewinder.
It's a baby sidewinder. I don't care what anybody says.
Has been and always will be.
Yep. It's always going to be a baby sidewinder.
That AMZ3D is nice as well.
You know, now let me ask you this: is the cooling fan, the park cooling fan, is it working?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's at max power.
Yeah, I didn't look at it.
Yeah.
That is really quiet.
Yeah.
Is it max power for the cooling fan?
Yeah. It's running at 255.
Yeah, I can feel it back here. I can smell it and feel it. Getting that PLA smell coming this way.
Did you change the temperatures for the nozzle in the bed?
No, why?
Oh, because it dropped down to 200 for the nozzle and 60 for the bed.
Oh, so it preheated at that amount, and then
Probably.
Okay.
Hey, you know, it worked.
Yeah, so it's probably in the G code for it to jump up and then come back down.
Yeah. Well, you know, the big thing is it's printing. That's what really matters. Yeah. Even if it's not perfect because it's not dialed in, who cares? It's printing. That's all that matters.
Good.
Yeah.
Right now, there's nothing about as far as
What
the mechanical end of it. There's nothing right now that I would mess with.
By rights, it's doing really good.
Out of the box,
I'm happy.
That's pretty good. Did you have? While I was back over at Tracy, there was a video that came out of Joel's for this. Did you happen to watch this video?
Not yet.
Okay. I've been meaning to watch it. I knew I had this sitting at home. I didn't want to taint anything that I was going to do, so I didn't watch this video. And if you're watching Joel, sorry about that. Who am I kidding? He's not watching. But if at all he's watching, I apologize I didn't watch your video, but I purposely didn't watch your video, which I will watch it tonight as soon as I go in to go to bed. I'm going to turn the thing on and watch it so I can see exactly his experience with it.
Let me know how it goes, because I don't want to taint my experience with mine, so I've intentionally not watched it.
Yeah.
But the only reason why is I don't want to see something and then kind of have a false.
Well, that's my thing. I don't like, and it's not because I'm being snooty or rude or anything like that. I don't want to watch a video about something I'm getting ready to unbox.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid that it's going to taint my experience with it.
Yeah.
I'll be, oh look, I knew about this ahead of time. I don't want to go into something knowing what I'm doing. I want to go into it.
Joel got a stamped steel wrench and I got a fancy one.
If I broke a connector off because I didn't realize the connector was there, that's on me. And I don't want to.
You want that first time using experience.
Right?
For me, I'm happy that I was here to watch this because it's already given me an idea of how I'm going to do my how-to video. But that's a different story. Mostly how to assemble the thing and plug everything in. And, the usual suspects. I mean, but when we get to that point, we get to that point.
That is a beautiful, beautiful cube right there, man. Okay, back to my profile. Let me get this knocked out so I can get something going. Let's see here. So 0.2 layer height, 0.3 initial layer height, outer walls 0.4 because of 0.4 nozzle. Duh. Let's see, wall thickness for this print. 1.2. I like thick walls. Thick walls, and I cannot lie. Those can be nice. Yeah. Let's see, is it 10% infill for whatever I want to print? I'm just throwing some numbers in here for as a generic deal just to get started. I like the zigzag pattern because it saves filament. That's print at 200?
Yeah.
I'd probably go 210. 200 is kind of light for temperature, but
I personally like to run a little hotter for better strength. That's me.
30 C's fine enough for the bed. Flow is going to be fine at 100. Initial flow needs to be at 110, 115% as usual I do. This is a direct drive, so the retraction distance only needs to be about 2.0. Retraction speed 35.
I run a little bit less than that, but if it works for you, that's cool.
A little bit less on distance or on speed?
A little less on distance, a little higher on speed. I'm 1.5 at 40.
Are you?
Yeah. That's what I use on Kaylee and it works fine, which is my nickname for my Sidewinder. But it works, so...
You named it?
Yes, I have officially named it.
What's rule number 1?
I've had Kaylee long
enough.
enough.
Don't name it. Don't kiss it.
I plead the fifth if I've done that or not.
Oh gosh, I don't even want to know what you did to your printer.
Oh, don't worry.
If it's anything like your laptop, I don't even want to know what you've done to your printer.
You dirty dog. No, I nickname my printers though because it makes it easier for me to know in Marlin which one's which for the G code.
Yeah.
So that's why I do it, and also it's fun because it's more fun just to call it by a nickname because I've had the thing so long. It's kind of like you've earned a nickname. But it's named after my favorite character in Firefly, so it's fitting.
Okay, so I'm going to set Z-Hop for 0.5 millimeter. I learned a long time with G-Tech when they went to the 32 board.
Mm-hmm.
It does anything over 0.75 millimeter on Z-Hop, it will crash it.
Really?
So if you put 1 millimeter for a Z-Hop, you'll get a little bit on your print, and then it'll just crash. It'll just crash the whole print.
That's stupid.
So I don't mean crash like knock it off the build plate. I mean it just
the software
freezes.
Freaks out.
It freezes everything on it. So I learned you have to keep it at under 0.75. So I just go 0.5. That's plenty of Z-Hop.
I mean, personally, I've run no Z-Hop, but
Well,
You know,
sometimes if you're going over, and that's like where it says Z-Hop only
Yeah.
over printed parts, I would check that.
yeah.
Because I only want the Z-Hop if it has to.
And mind you, that's not to say that your method's right and my method's wrong or anything like that. It's just personal taste.
Okay, so back the first time I met the 3D printing professor, when I was back there in Utah, I met up with Joe, and he had this model that he was printing, and he says every single time it prints, it pumps it and knocks it off. I'm like, that's the thing about talking to somebody and getting a fresh perspective on it. I'm like, well, are you using Z-Hop? He's like,
I mean, there are times where I have used Z-Hop. I won't lie, but in general, I just never saw the need for it. So
yeah.
Especially if I'm working with, say, like my Hick top, I actually will turn Z-Hop off because I want it to wipe the nozzle on the ooze shield. And if it has Z-Hop turned on, well, ooze shield ain't gonna stop any oozing. But that's another story altogether. But you know, different machines have different needs. So what can I say? So
let's see. So we've got cooling at layer 2. I want that set for a 10-second pause between layers. Let's see here. I don't need any support for what I'm thinking about printing. I wonder if I could spiralize the contour.
try.
I might try it on this one. Which means if I spiralize the contour, I need to take away the infill, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to show you what I'm going to try printing. I renamed this one because,
That you weren't supposed to name it.
well, I renamed the model because it's somebody else's model, but I did some tweaks to it because I don't need the motors.
Right. I'm just teasing. I get it.
How tall should I make it?
I don't know. Well, if you want the thing to print in a reasonable amount of time,
Let's see how much 100 millimeters would take. I'm just curious.
you might have to pull up the thing because it's covering it.
I know.
I meant it's like go to the bottom and pull it up.
I just hit that.
Oh, an hour. That's not bad.
That's not bad, but I don't want to be out here for an hour. So let's go 50 millimeters. That might be too small.
Yeah. Try 75.
Let's see how long that 50 millimeters would take. 11 minutes.
Do 75.
75 millimeters would be. I honestly don't know if this will work. 27 minutes.
That's worth a shot.
Okay, so this is almost done. As soon as this thing finishes, can you hand me the
Yes.
SD or the USB?
Can do.
I'm gonna try slicing this, and I want to see if it'll print. Now this one's got some severe overhangs on it, so I honestly don't expect it to print.
You know what? It's one of those cases of it's worth experimenting with.
Yeah. What's it doing? Oh, it's putting the
Logo.
logo on it.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Everybody knows it's
Those
an
lines are sexy.
I know.
Oh my god.
Now, I'm not saying that some people's filaments might not behave differently, but I still don't get why some people just get these butt ugly cubes off their machines.
I firmly believe your filament is one of the keys to 3D printing.
Agreed.
Now, granted, some of your really cheap filaments will print perfectly fine,
Yeah.
but
It's a bit
there's
hit and miss.
this. You get something really cheap, you're giving up quality. You get something really expensive, and you're getting better quality. You know,
Hopefully.
it's just there's this balance.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't want to spend too much, but you don't need. You know, if you're just making something just to print it, you don't need the best quality in the whole world.
You don't
either.
need color fab or
But you do
protopasta.
need something that's uniform.
Yeah.
And when you buy the cheapest filament, it's going to be really wide, really thin. Everything's inconsistent.
You don't, or even if it's somewhat consistent, you don't know what the batch quality is.
And that's the reason why I've after using Shaxton, I moved to Hatchbox and then AMZ3D, and I will still. My preference is between Hatchbox and AMZ3D. Those are the two that if I need to reach up here and grab something, those are the two brands I will grab.
Yeah.
Because I know that when I put it in the machine, it's going to print.
And that's key.
And it's not a question of, oh, I wonder how this is going to turn out. I know it's going to turn out as long as it stays on the build plate.
Yeah. Which is another story altogether, but clean your build plate, people. Like, clean it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to be fair, I have worked with some very cheap PLAs, but I also know full well that it might not be the best quality, and I also know that, you know, it will be what it will be at the end of the day, and if it's total garbage, well, it's total garbage, and I got what I paid for. So
Look at my speeds on this profile. Where's my speeds at? There they are. 60 millimeters for the print speed, 30 for outside wall. Yeah, I could probably go 40.
45.
45, you think?
Yeah. You might want to slow the initial layer speed down to 20 just to make sure it sticks really good. That's what I usually do. Just because it is such a small print, you want to make sure it's going to not go flying off.
True.
30 minutes. That's not bad.
27 minutes is not bad at all.
No.
Okay, so I did it for 210 degrees on the filament. That's not too much, right?
Yeah, that's fine. We're at 91%.
Like if this was on my other machine where I have the bigger nozzle, then I would I'd crank that up to like 220.
220, 225.
Because you're pushing a lot more filament through. You need it as hot as you can get it to cram it. You know.
The biggest issue that I see with people when they go with bigger nozzles is they don't realize how much tuning it
Is
requires.
that an anodized? No, I'm just looking at it wrong, aren't I?
Anodized what?
Oh no, that's got a sock on it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's got a silicone sock on it?
Yeah.
Dude.
I'm kind of neutral on them.
I've never had a silicone sock ever.
I'm neutral on them, but if it comes
God,
with
that
one, I'll
sounds
use
really
it.
dirty, doesn't it?
I'm neutral about them, but if it comes with one, I'll use it.
You know, I've always heard about them, and I see the use for it because the thing is, number one, if you do have a situation where you get PLA all around it,
Yeah.
it's going to keep it from like fusing to that heat block.
In theory.
Well, in practice too, because think about it, what sticks to silicone.
Well, the thing is, I've seen it where it's actually gotten knocked off.
Answer my question. What sticks to silicone?
Silicone.
Nothing. Nothing sticks to silicone.
Silicone sticks to itself.
Yeah, that's it. And you're not printing silicone.
Yeah.
So, but the biggest benefit of it is that cooling fan can be blown on it like sneaking crazy,
And it's not
and
going
it's not going to affect the temperature. It's going to keep the temperature uniform because it's like a little blanket for it, you know.
Yeah.
It's like
So,
Linus's little blanket, you know, keeping all the heat in there.
PVG's asking, AMZ3D, is that an Amazon brand? No. It's
There's
independent.
And believe it or not, sometimes people will actually send back their Amazon PLA to saying it's AMZ3D, and they get hit with the shipping and get hit with all the return stuff, and it's not even their filament. But it's because Amazon comes up after AMZ and comes up with their Amazon Basics, and they think they're the same, and they're not. I have used Amazon Basics. I have used AMZ3D, and honestly, I gave back my roll of Amazon Basics back to Josh because
We couldn't get it to print.
I couldn't get to stick.
Yeah, I remember
couldn't
that.
Get to stick to the build plate.
It was a nightmare.
There were blobs because of the sock. Eee. Really?
I think it depends.
Probably if you printed too hot,
Yeah.
I could see where it would do that.
Well, also the problem is some people, their nozzle might get ever so slightly loosened. So then what happens is it starts oozing inside, and you know.
So is this still a volcano style?
Still a volcano.
Really?
Yeah.
So theoretically, you could still go with a bigger nozzle if you want to.
Yeah.
But this one here, I want to keep this one for quality.
Yeah.
The other one, I did it because I wanted to crank out big prints really fast.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I did that.
Oh, we're done.
It's done.
It's done. I'll let it cool down before I remove the printer so we don't damage the bed.
And that's the whole key with this style build plate is let it cool. When it hits about 30 to 25 C, you'll hear a crack. And the moment you hear the crack, then it'll come off the build plate. That's the reason why whenever people start talking about, oh, it's got power shut off protection, it's like, for this style build plate, it's really kind of a lost cause, because once it cools down, you're not going to recover the print because the print's going to come off the build plate.
Well, I mean, it past a couple of minutes at the most, it's a lost cause.
Yeah, I mean, if it's within 5 minutes, you might be all right, but
yeah, in general, a UPS is the best power.
I'm just going to set this right over here so everybody can hear it when it does it.
They can just hear the fan.
I don't think they can. Let's see here. Let me bring it up. No, they can barely hear it. They can still hear us talking.
Fair.
Because the fan's down below it. It's up on the build plate, so it's like silent.
I meant the hot end fan, but here, I'll just... There we go.
Oh yeah, that brought it down a little bit.
Because the bed's still at 55, so it'll take a minute. But
yeah.
Man, that thing is sexy. Holy crap.
Removable. Okay. What time is it? It's 10:11, so we'll be done by 11 o'clock.
I can stay at it.
Another thing is, I'm wanting to go to Yosemite tomorrow. Sorry, but I know you have to work.
It's okay. I was there around New Year's.
I was talking to Beth about it this week because I've been going to training for the last 3 weeks. I've been at training. I come home for like 1, maybe 2 days. This time I'm fortunate enough to be home for 3 days before I go back for another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which I'll have 1 day off in between. But it's worth it in the long run. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
I've been learning a lot. Oh my God, I've been learning so much.
He's all telling me about temps for things, and
thank God I passed my first test yesterday, so I have one more job impacting test in 2 weeks, and if I pass that, then I'm good.
I'll put it this way: if you did as good as you did on the first test, that's definitely, don't get cocky, but it's definitely a confidence booster.
Yeah, I felt really a lot better.
Because once you know the format of the tests, it makes things a lot easier.
Okay, so let's bring that back up. We got the chat. Is that the right chat?
Yeah, it's the right chat.
Are you sure it's or not?
So you have to use the one in the browser, which is kind of frustrating, but oh well.
Okay, so that over there like that. There we go. Oh my God, what did I do?
You pulled it up to the top, so it snapped to the top.
Oh. Let's cover that chat with that chat.
So Lightspeed's asking, what do we think the yellow residue is on the plate? Could be maybe like a mold release or something?
No, it could be just the process of however they put that coating on there. It could be just like overspray or residual amount.
Yeah. It came off with alcohol easy enough.
Yeah, I washed it down, what, 3 times?
Yeah.
And then the 3rd time, it was just a light amount on there, but it was nothing like that first. That first one, I don't know if we still have the...
It doesn't pick up well on camera.
It was really dark. It
Yeah.
was really dark yellow, and then the next time was a little bit lighter, and that last time was just a very little bit.
And I've noticed with any build surface, even PEI, what I'll do is, PEI is a lot more chemical resistant than Built-Tac, so I can take straight acetone and I'll just wipe it down. You'd be amazed how much gunk comes off.
Yeah.
But even on a Built-Tac surface where you don't use acetone, you use alcohol, you'll still pull off a lot, especially if you've been applying with your fingers or something, you know.
Really quiet because I had the microphone stuck over there to the build plate. It's lukewarm right now.
Yeah, don't force it. It's at 50 though.
Is it? Okay, so yeah, it's not going to release yet. Just let it cool.
Patience. Don't.
Patience, grasshopper. Great patience.
Just can't. I'm not gonna do it.
Do it.
If I crack your bed, it's not my fault.
I started printing something the other day. It had holes in it. Let's see here. That's what's got me worried.
Yeah, we'll see.
But that was also printing really fast too.
I was printing with the 0.8 nozzle. So.
Well, look how smooth that is.
Oh yeah, that is impressive.
That was the 0.8
yeah
millimeter nozzle, and look at the lines. It's perfect.
That is really good.
You can hear it, but you can't see it as much. That came out nice. I just wish it would have printed all the way, so it had holes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a cooler for the bed.
You just need a little computer fan blowing on it, honestly. Because the thing is, the bed has insulation on the bottom, so it loses heat a lot slower that way. We're at 47. I don't think that's going to do it.
Way to blow on it. No, don't do that.
I'm not.
Don't do that, you hater.
Not.
Then I'll be one of those people on Facebook. My coating came off. Oh my god. I don't know why it came off. I used a razor blade.
My question is, did
I
you
don't use a hammer and a chisel. I don't understand why it came off.
Oh my gosh. People these days, I swear.
Oh, goodness.
They're going to put me in the insane asylum.
Eh. People gotta learn. I'm probably guilty of it to a certain extent myself back when I was brand new at it. And then finally just learned, just gotta let it go and it'll all be fine.
Yeah. And my only complaint, though, is when people get in there and start getting all flamey and blaming people and things like that. It's like, whoa. Like, there was somebody on one of the pages claiming that don't do the Hemera mod because supposedly the Hemera mod was causing all these problems. And I'm like, no, the
What's
problem...
a Hemera mod?
It's where you take a printer and you put the new Hemera, the Hermes extruder from E3D on there. The person was claiming...
I've never heard of it.
It's their
That's how far out of the loop I've been. I haven't even heard of it.
It's their newest extruder they came out with. And the thing was, the person was also... The problem was the person was having issues with the printer not remembering its location. And we're all like, dude, that's not the extruder's fault. That's you set something up wrong, which is why the machine's not remembering it. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but that's not the extruder's fault. It's 45.
Yeah, it's gonna have to get down to about 35, and then it'll start cracking. It's just taking forever.
I know. So you were saying about going to Yosemite.
Yes. What about it?
That you were super bummed that I didn't get to tag along.
Yeah, I am super bummed that you couldn't tag along.
It's okay.
But you know what? It's all good.
You know what?
We'll go there someday.
I'm just happy that you and Beth get to go out there, because the reality is I know how busy you've been. And as it is, I was out there over New Year's anyway, so it was...
Why is the top blue? Is it plastic? Yes,
it
is.
is. And it's more than strong enough. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
It's ABS plastic, I believe.
Probably.
It's injection molded. It's not 3D printed. All the blue parts you see here, all of it, from what I am seeing, is all injection molded. Even the wobble bracket that they have back here, everything about it is injection molded.
And yes, it is cooling the bed slowly.
And even that's injection molded too.
Now, this plate and a plate inside of here is anodized aluminum,
right.
And then down there is anodized aluminum, but that's another story. Why? Because it's easier. And honestly, a properly designed plastic part can actually be stronger than a metal one because it has a little bit of give.
I know why they did it, and it was mainly because of that spool holder, because it's adjustable.
Yeah.
So by doing the plastic, it was a whole lot easier than trying to come up with a specialized aluminum piece, or having to have it where you unscrew it and slide it like it was on the other one. What temperature is that?
42.
It's getting close. Where's that canned air at?
I have no clue.
It's cold enough now. It'll be fine to hit with some canned air if
Here
you
it
want.
is. Don't do this at home, children. We're going to Barnacles this thing. Oh, good gosh. That was a bad idea. It's reading 41. I'm just terrified to crack the thing is all. I think you might have to get underneath the brim a little bit.
We're just too impatient.
Yeah. It's trying to teach us patience, so we don't want to listen.
Patience, grasshopper. Patience. Yeah, injection molds aren't really cheap. That's true. I honestly don't know what the idea was behind it. I mean, the one up there makes sense because of the way they have it slotted for the spool holder. The other parts, I don't understand it. I'm not necessarily against it. I don't understand it. I wish I did. I wish I could answer that question.
We're at 38.
These just look like they're just covers.
Actually...
No, they're not, because that's what the wobble brackets are attached to.
Well, also the wheel, this acts like a hinge.
Yeah.
So if there's any inconsistencies, this actually takes the place of an eccentric.
Really?
Yeah. Which is actually kind of interesting because then it maintains constant pressure on the wheel. So we're at 37 now.
Patience.
I'm just using my fingernail.
I know.
We're going to have to use something to get underneath it ever so gently.
I don't want to do that.
Be super duper careful. Ooh. Eee.
It's all right. It's all good in the hood.
I mean, I would say take the brim off around it and then hit it with the air. Once you get one edge to go, the rest of it goes.
Just put my hand over on that side to gently caress the build plate. I'm not digging down.
Try not to cringe too hard.
Did you cringe?
Yes. The cringe is real. Here, I'll take away the brim, and then I'll hit it again. With
What's the temperature on it right now?
34.
Yeah, see, it's still got another 4 or 5 degrees before it'll crack.
I mean, because this
It will release.
brim is stuck good.
Yeah, even with that other... Of course, then again, we don't know what their initial air height was either.
Yeah. And they might have intentionally kept it a little bit low for the sake of stiction.
Stiction?
Yeah, sticking.
What's stiction? Never heard that one before.
Sticking. Here, do you want me to hit it with the canned air real fast? Hoping we could get an edge to go, and then the rest of it just comes in from there. But that was wishful thinking.
Actually, just...
We're at 33. Maybe this is why people were having issues. Because, hey, yeah, I'm gonna get high.
Woo!
I believe I can fly. Towley right now. We're at 32.
Jeremy?
It's your printer. You can tell.
It's got the cork on it.
Everybody's cringing right now.
That is really stuck, though.
Yeah.
Even for on this type of build plate, usually it comes off.
Do we have like a modified spatula or something like that? Oh dear. We're down to 31. That can's almost
That can's
empty.
done. Normally by this time it's
It's
made
stuck
that
on
little
there.
pop noise and it's starting to come loose. And
Oh boy.
you have a little hammer around here?
Every tool's a hammer, according to Adam Savage.
It is. Just be careful, don't cut yourself. Oh, I think you're under the corner. Just be careful. Did you slice yourself?
No. Man, that thing is stuck.
I know.
I'd honestly just at this point say just leave it for the night and. Okay. I think call up the rocket print before I fall asleep.
pants a little?
No, but I'm dizzy as heck. So you guys can see, this thing is nice.
Show it to the camera. Get it up there close, man.
Well, I can only get it so close because it's dark over here.
Well, I'm trying to show you some. There you go. Turn that light.
I didn't say that I was like 100%. Man, this thing is nice for just a little stock test print. I'm impressed. And those edges are straight. Oh, it's really good. Wow.
Okay, go ahead and.
It's already warming up.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
You already turned it on?
Yeah.
Oh, when did you do that?
Before you cleaned it, because I knew it would take a minute.
Genius!
This thing is nice. We all know if it was Calvin's printer, he'd already start printing train parts on the thing by now. We're going to print this train part and that train part. And man, that thing has a beef. I just saw how big that X section is the same that's on the Sidewinder. That is
What's that?
chunky. The X carriage?
Yeah.
That is chunky. That's nice.
It's what?
Like 50 millimeters?
Oh, no, it's more than 50 millimeters, isn't it?
I don't know.
That is
I don't work in communist units, you know.
at 60 millimeters.
How many inches is that?
60 millimeters is about 2 3/8. 2 3/8. Okay, so here's the cura profile. Does it look like it's centered?
Doesn't really matter, not so much as if it's
Trying to see if it's sticking to the bed. Can you tell?
yeah. Looks like it is.
That transparent is really hard to see for the first layer or so. Why is it doing that?
I think it's doing supports.
I didn't tell it to do supports.
Whatever.
I don't think.
Look at it under preview.
Yeah, it has supports turned off.
Huh. Click on preview though and see what it does. That's just for the layer. Oh, it's printing.
It's supposed to be spiralized contour, isn't it?
It might not be able to. Whatever, just let it print. See what it does.
Let's see, what did I do for the... Did I turn off the infill? Yeah, I turned off the infill.
Now it's doing spiralize, I think. Oh, the wall thickness is too tiny.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to work.
Yeah, because it's just doing the back part.
Yeah, because on here it's doing...
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so isn't there a setting for thin walls or something?
I do not know.
Oh, because I need to turn that to 0.4. Go ahead and stop it. I'm an idiot. That's why. Dude, don't kill yourself, okay?
It's not my fault you have your box right there. There you go.
That sucks.
We
Wait,
all
there's
make-
also a setting for
Well, that guy didn't stick so hard.
huh?
That guy came off easier.
Yeah, I think it's let me
That first layer looks really good though.
Does it?
Yeah.
We'll up the extrusion to 120% for the first layer.
Sounds smart.
And let's see. It said spiralized contour. Was the cooling fan going whenever it was going?
Wasn't checking, but it probably was.
Let's slice that and see what it does. Still just wanting to do one little side. Okay, so there's got to be a setting. I'm trying to remember where it was at for thin walls. Are you still checking out the chat?
No, I don't have it on my phone.
If anybody remembers in Cura, isn't there a setting for it to detect thin walls?
You might have to activate that.
That's what I'm trying to see.
Did you just try searching for it?
You can search for it? Where?
Up in the top, just type in thin in there. Just
Right here?
yeah.
No.
Thin. Print thin walls.
Son of I didn't know that existed.
Yes, it's actually there. You're welcome.
Thank you. But still, how come I didn't know about this?
Because I wasn't here to tell you about it.
It's still doing it. It's still wanting to print. Weird.
Whatever.
Why would it do that?
Don't know.
Okay, so what if I just take away spiralized contour and do that? It's still going to do that garbage.
Just scale the model up a little bit.
Yeah, let's try that. Let's try scaling it up. Man.
Well, that's what you get for hollowing it. Go back to prepare. Or, never mind.
Scale.
Just make it like 100.
100.
There we go.
Slice. Let's see if that does any better. I said spiralized contour yet? Yes, I did. Okay, so let's see what it wants to do now. Does it go all the way around? Yeah. Nope, it doesn't go all the way around. It's just going out on one side.
Try just doing it without spiralized. Well, it's because you hollowed it. That probably didn't help.
Well, that sucks. You think it's because I hollowed it?
Probably, because it's trying to print it as the hollowed out shell.
Okay, well let me try something else here. Hang on. Because my problem is, if I try doing it the other way, then it's going to want to print the rocket motors.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't want to print the rocket motors. So it doesn't print all the way around until it gets to that level there, and then it went all the way around.
Yeah. Or you could just try running it with like that, turn off spiralize, and just call it done. It's getting late. I know, you don't like it, but...
It's going to take an hour.
So, we don't have to run it all the way through.
Let's see what it does right there. Just it's still. Well, it seems like it might.
I just print it and see what happens. I mean, there's only so much we can do.
Okay, save to media. So I'm just doing one shell, 0.4.
Yeah.
Get out of there. Okay, try it. We'll just see how it does. Otherwise, I'll just take and I'll just take and do a video on it later on. I won't be able to get to it until. Well, I can probably start recording it tonight, and I can always edit. Let me see that block.
I think it's nice,
dude. First print.
I'm impressed.
Now, granted, that's their.
Yeah.
That's their, which I always funny about
test
prints, because sometimes they will take and they will make tweaks in the G code to cover things up. But for a first print off that printer, that's really promising.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Very nice.
I hope that's not an actual dimensional cube, right?
Pull out your wonderful calipers and find out.
Because if it is, it's too short.
I don't, honestly...
And I'm not talking the wrapper either.
Honestly, I don't even mess with that stuff. I'm just like, unless I really, really need to, I don't.
Is it heating up?
Yeah. It's not that fast. I mean, it takes a minute.
I wonder if... Oh, let me see. Am I being an idiot? I bet I am being an idiot.
In what way?
Z-hop.
I doubt that would cause it. But you never know.
Z-hop unretracted. Spiralized contour. Slice. How's it looking?
Fine.
By the way, the model we're trying to print is the spaceship from SpaceX. It's that model is what I'm trying to print.
But we should note it has some problems with the original model.
Well, this is another one, and
okay.
I took it over into Tinkercad, and I hollowed out the engines, and I just put a base to it, you know, a flat on the base, because I didn't care about printing the engines.
Yeah. Fan's going. That's looking really good.
So it should print that bottom part, and then it should just start doing...
Yeah, it's starting to do the upper stuff. Is it spiralized or just normal?
Just normal.
Okay. Yeah, we're at 0.5, so it's on the second layer. It's working. I just think because you took the model with whatever wall thickness you had and you scaled it so tiny, it can't connect it, so that's looking really good. Well, safe to say the Genius so far, I'm giving it high marks. I mean, it
I took off the Z-hop, and it's looking better in the preview.
Huh. Well, do we want to just keep it going?
look like it's spiralizing, or is it?
It's just doing it normally, but it's working. So.
But it's doing the Z hop, which is what's going to make it take longer.
Yeah.
For now, I could take that. Let me see what happens when I scale it back down. 75. Slice.
It's already 8% of the way there.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. I would just keep it going at this point, honestly. But that thing is. Can't wait to get mine eventually. That's all I'm gonna say. That thing is.
It's still not wanting to spiralize like it's supposed to on this one.
I think for spiralize to work, it needs to be a solid model.
Yeah.
And then it follows that outside contour. Because it's trying to follow the contour like it's supposed to, but because the model's already hollowed, that's why it's not working.
Yeah.
So, oh well.
It's pretty much well, it's not spiralizing, but it's
good enough.
It's still looking pretty smooth, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Did it print the overhang?
Yeah. It's already done the sides of the motors.
That's the part, the bottom, lower part of the wing.
Yeah. Or whatever it is. Looks pretty good.
That's actually not bad at all.
Considering how tiny it is, that's impressive.
Guess we're bringing the chat back up, huh?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Chad's just gone to crap.
Huh?
Chad's just totally gone to crap with everybody in there.
Has it?
They're not listening.
We're listening now. No, there's not a whole lot going on in there.
Yeah. Later, Oz.
That's not bad at all.
No. Hey, I'll put it this way. I'll pop my head out tomorrow morning before I leave and check up on it. See what it looks like for giggles. That is impressive.
They can't really see it on camera, can they?
No.
Sad.
It's one of those tweet out some photos deals. But man, you guys can't see it, but that transparent purple is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Alright, well, I'm going to make one last trip to the facilities, and then I'm going to tap out.
You want to head out?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll probably stick out here for a little bit longer. See if anybody in the chat wants to talk. If not, I'll probably shut it down here about 11 o'clock.
Sounds good. Before I head out for the night, all the filament.
Yeah, let's see what's here. It should be out here. Everything that way should be out here.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay, let me take a quick look here. Let's see what I got. It's right here somewhere. I'll have to find it. Oh. And for just a quick, rough just throwing together a profile in Cura, it looks like it's printing all right. That's cool. Let's see. How many printers do you have now? Which ones are your go-to printers? I've got, oh God.
Way too many.
I've got one, starting out with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. No, one more. 17. 17 now. Oh my God.
You have a problem.
Well, one of them I do have over at my friend's house, which I'm going to give to him because he's done quite a bit for me, and I want to make sure I take care of him. So I gave him my TiVo. What was that one?
Tornado.
The Tornado. Yeah, I gave him the Tornado because he was needing to do some larger printing. So I gave him that one. I got another friend that I'm going to end up giving a printer to. Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to take care of him because he's asked me if he got one. I'm like, yeah, let me see what I can do. So I'm kind of leaning toward the other TiVo. The Pro.
Oh, the Tarantula Pro.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning toward that one. We'll see though.
Yeah, I mean, in my case, I'm working on slowly upgrading my A10 to pass off to a friend of mine, but
yeah,
I have not had time to work on the thing, and I haven't had time to link up with him to drop it off. So
then I've also had 2 giveaways in the past where I gave away a E180 and I gave away a A10M. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
What in the world is it doing there? It's
Uh,
bridging.
I don't know.
It is bridging, by the way.
Yeah. Probably an error with the model or something. I don't know.
What in the world is it doing? Where was that in that model?
I do not know. Oh well, it's working. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it is. It's working nice too.
Filament before I head out.
I was just looking for it. I'm trying to.
That's glow filament.
That's the glow.
And
That's purple.
purple.
You can go ahead and take the purple. The glow one I don't think you want to mess with.
No. Not for what I'm going to be doing.
That's red.
I don't care. I'll take what I can get.
Let's go ahead and go with some neon green.
I'll look great against my dark green
Where
wall.
do I have no my purple? I know the purple's out here. I know it is. I just may have gotten this another box somewhere. Because I want to do it all in that purple, that transparent purple.
Yeah.
Because I know I had like 3 or 4 rolls of it.
I mean, is it going to take that much filament?
I don't think so, but
You never know.
I honestly don't know.
Depending upon what it's going to be used for, that'll determine the print setting, so that'll determine how much filament we use.
The other thing is too is I've got that other box of filament that came just recent, and I don't see it out here. And I thought I brought it out here.
I didn't touch it.
No, I know you didn't. I don't know.
Huh. Oh well.
Are you coming out here in the morning
Yeah.
before you go?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look around. If I find it, I'll just set up on the table.
That sounds like a plan.
But I know it's around here somewhere.
Okay. I'm not going to stress about it too much.
Yeah, nothing else. I'll find at least one more roll for
Okay.
you to take.
Yeah. I got filament.
Did
as
you
well.
get this filament down here that
I got the
Jeff
Kodak.
sent for you?
I got the 2.5.
Did you? Okay, so
Yeah,
this is
2.8.
that's the 1.75. Okay,
Yeah, that
cool.
was the one that had the funky spool wind.
Okay.
Okay, well, peace out, everybody in the chat. It's been fun.
Come over here on camera and say it, man. My goodness, disrespectful.
Dare you disrespect me that way? Oh man. Okay, guys, I've got to tap out. For those who don't know, I've been bit under the weather and had from stress from the first week of school a nice hives outbreak, so I had to bust out the Benadryl, and I'm still getting over that. So yeah, but it's been fun. This thing is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I seriously cannot wait until I there's word that I will have one coming for myself as well, and I seriously cannot wait until that happens, because man, this thing is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, in a way, if the thing continues to be as good as it is, I think honestly this is kind of like a benchmark for what beginner printer should be. Yes, I know the price is a little bit steep.
What was the price on it?
I think on their AliExpress page it was like $360 shipped.
How about on Amazon?
Do not know. Because when I went to their website, it took you just straight to their AliExpress page for it.
Okay.
But I mean, we'll just say the thing is $350 for the sake of easy math here. Not because obviously the prices go up and down. But I mean, yes, I know it's about double what another brand of printer is. But at the same time, if you can literally pull the thing out of the box and get it printing that fast,
yeah,
that's honestly worth it in my opinion.
Like if we were printing a Marvin, we would have already. And by rights, I should have just went and threw a Marvin into it and sliced it and printed it.
Yeah.
And it would have been a whole lot faster.
But the point is, it's a cool test print, and it shows off that it can do detailed, thin-walled stuff like that as well.
Yeah, that's only 0.4 millimeter thickness. It's just the
nozzle.
Single.
It is amazing. Hey, what's up, Ashley? Sorry, I didn't get the notification.
Yeah.
This thing is seriously nice, though. I'm gonna hold on passing judgment until I get mine and I use it a lot. But the initial impressions, I'm really impressed.
Especially for a first timer to get something like this, I go back to when I got this one.
Oh boy!
And it took me 8 hours to assemble it
at least, and then you had to To be fair, you didn't exactly know what you were doing. You had to assemble.
Well, that's the thing. If you're a first timer, you're not going to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you take somebody who brand new to 3D printing, and they go out and they get a kit printer, and they go and they put that kit printer together, and then you got to do all the tweaks and the upgrades and stuff like that to get to where it prints decent.
Yeah.
Where you now, that was 2016, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 4 years later.
You can pull the thing out of the box and in 10 minutes
You pull the thing out of the box, 10, 15 minutes later, you've got a functioning printer for, how much again?
About $360-ish, $350, $360.
Same price as what I paid $330 for this one on eBay back in the day.
Yeah.
And straight out of the box, you don't have to mess with the wiring. You don't have to mess with any of the stuff I had to mess with this. And it's like,
yeah.
Four bolts,
couple of wires,
thumb screw, and then plugging in the wires, and didn't even look at the diagram to figure it out because it's self-explanatory. You put everything in place, and it's like this wire is taped next to that wire is taped next to that.
If you can't figure that out,
it's pretty simple.
And then level the bed, and you're done.
Hey Patrick, how you doing?
What's up? But yeah, no, I mean, knowing me, I'm definitely going to put it through its paces on stuff. But no, I mean, in terms of ease of use, yeah, I mean, honestly, it's easier than the A10, which was relatively easy to put together.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice setup.
Yeah. And like anything else, there's always little things that you could always say, well, it could be better, but...
you know how it's going to work out. This is just the initial price.
Yeah. And
then what's going to happen in about 6 months is the price is going to slowly come down. I see this probably being about, at the end of the day, I see it being probably about a $300 printer.
I was thinking about
$325 somewhere.
I was going to say something more like $325 to be a little bit on the higher side, but yeah. I know what you mean. Because at the end of the day, you can only strip the price so much before you start cutting quality.
You cut price, you cut quality, and then it's not worth it. It's better to pay a little bit more, get something that right out of the box you're going to have a decent experience. And if this was my very first 3D printer, this would have been a good experience.
Yeah. And to be fair, I think the reason why a lot of those printers are really cheap is because it's a kit. You're not having to pay for somebody to put it together, which, speaking from experience at a job where I've been paid to put things together, it's very time consuming, especially when you get into the QC department and you're paying somebody, for example, $20 an hour and they can only do 2 machines an hour. Well, you're just having to pay them $20 an hour to, QC stuff, and they can only do so much. Even if they're doing other things, it adds up, and that price gets passed on to the consumer for better or for worse. But yeah, there's a reason why the kits are so cheap is because you're not paying for the labor. They're paying what you're saving on the front end. You're paying for with your time to assemble the thing and fix any issues, and you get the idea.
Right.
So, but no, it's I'm impressed. I'm curious to see what the long-term outcome of it is, but there's definitely some things about this that I feel like they learned a lot from the initial Sidewinder.
Yeah.
And I think they took and put that into the Genius, and I think if they were able to take like that PCB plug set they have on the Genius and stick that on the Sidewinder, that would be amazing.
Because that's probably the one single thing on the Sidewinder that was a difficult deal, is getting that ribbon cable turned just right to fit in there so that the plate would come past it and not catch it.
And they did revise the future one so it came straight down into there, but even then it's still a little bit tricky. So yeah, I feel like the fact that they eliminated you having to do anything with the ribbon cables was smart.
3D Genius, he's got it right. They were supposed to change their name.
Yeah.
To prevent any issues with customs.
Yeah.
Because when the customs sees the name artillery, they automatically think
heavy machine
weapon.
Gun.
They think something evil.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with when you start a company with a name.
It sticks.
It sticks. And even though they went to I forget what the name of it. Huh?
I think they went to Innovo.
Something like that. And it
didn't work.
No, it doesn't sound right.
No. Because there's something funny about saying the Artillery3D Sidewinder X1. Like, you take a Sidewinder, which is a pretty nasty snake, and then you take artillery, so you think of a big howitzer, and you put the two together, and it's like, oh, it's a prayer.
No, a Sidewinder is a
missile, too.
Yes, that's...
Funny, my boss actually has a part from a Sidewinder. You can buy it military surplus. He has part of, like, the reaction control unit for one of the fins, and we were having way too much fun cranking up the compressor at work to see how fast we could spin that thing.
Yeah. That
was fun. But
anyway, guys, it's hitting close to 11 o'clock. I'm going to call it a night.
I am too.
We're going to go ahead and let this thing print during the night, and then I'll get a picture of it in the morning. I'm sure Calvin will probably beat me out here. He'll probably get a picture of it and put it up on social media. Just be sure to give me tag me in the post. I appreciate it.
I've kind of kept a running thing. I'll post a progress photo really fast to the thread on Twitter.
Now, mind you, that bottom part was where it was kind of doing retractions and stuff all the way around it.
Yeah.
So it looks a little bit hazier, but this top part is looking absolutely amazing. It looks like glass. That is insane. That is just insane, man. I'm going to be interested to see what happens when it gets up to the taller part to where it's going to have those extra fins at the top.
Yeah.
That's going to be cool. Because that is supposed to be about like that.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to look like. So it's going to be interesting to see how that part turns out on that.
That's about as steep as the bottom part. It turned out pretty good on the bottom.
Yeah.
All things considered.
It's looking really nice.
So if you guys are wondering, if you go to Twitter and you type in my handle @MakeItWithCal, there's a thread that I have going that Artillery and Jimmy are tagged in that has photos from us doing this. So cool. if you guys look up me or you look up Jimmy, you should be able to find it.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to live post as much as I can to there from this, because obviously I get it, we can't bring the camera in as close as we can with my phone, but
yeah,
this is nice. Very nice.
Yep.
Well, it's been a good streaming with you as always, dude. Good seeing you.
If I don't see you tomorrow, you just have a safe trip going up there and have a good day at work.
Same to you.
And guys, thank you very much for joining. Have a good night. Take care.
It's been fun.
Catch you in the next one.
Peace out.
That's not going to end.
You might need to control alt delete again.
Yeah, probably will.
There we go.